My challenge was what most of my students do with an assigned reading, especially if they're not familiar with the content. I find that they tend to skim through the text and look for something familiar without realizing they are just reinforcing prior knowledge. That's not critical thinking, and it's also not truly learning new ideas. My breakthrough strategy is what I call power reading. This starts with developing a power reading outline with my students before they read the text. On day 1 of class, I give them a 4 or 5 page handout from one of the texts we will be reading. For instance, from the text, I write on the board, Chicana Chicano Studies, Survey and Analysis. I then give them the first subtitle, which is Introduction. Then the second subtitle, The Origins of Chicano Studies. Then the next subtitle, The Formation of a Discipline. And the next subtitle, Issues and Contributions in Chicano Studies. And then the last subtitle, Looking to the Future. I tell them we're building a skeleton. They're creating an outline, a guide they will use to read effectively. When the outline of the titles and subtitles is complete, their homework is to create questions that address the subtitles and write them alongside the relevant titles and subtitles. To help them come up with good questions, I might say, imagine you're talking to the author of Chicano Studies, Survey and Analysis. What does that mean? Why do you think the author links it to the topic of survey and analysis, since these are two different ideas? I'm trying to get them to think about the reading before they read it. This engages them. Next, we see the subtitles, Origin of Chicano Studies and Formation of a Discipline. How might the title and subtitles relate to each other? What questions do you write by this subtitle? As they move through the whole reading, how did the different subtitle paragraphs relate to each other? The next part of their assignment is to read or skim the text looking for answers to the questions they've written by the subtitles. They are now working to create a body on the skeleton. Were they correct in their assumptions? Another part of the process is to talk your way through the chapter out loud. Be a crazy person, be like me. I talk to myself all the time. When your brain hears things out loud, there's a different process occurring in your thinking. By talking it out, you hear your thoughts and ideas start falling into place. You are reinforcing your thinking and learning processes. On the next class days, they come to the board in small groups. They write their outlines on the board with questions and their inserted answers to the questions. They review and critique each other's questions and answers. I then help them identify what's important from the answers they came up with and how it all relates back to the title and subtitles of the reading. Even at the end of a busy workday, when they're tired, by practicing these steps, students learn to ask questions and to find answers instead of just reading words that flow over them. With only 15 minutes, students can still effectively find answers. The final steps in the process involve teaching them how to use the outline they've created with questions and answers to create a critical reading summary, and ultimately to write an analytic paper that combines 2 or more separate readings into a true analysis. The power reading method teaches students a new way to read and think critically about what they read. After doing power reading with a number of texts, students are writing thoughtful analyses of multiple readings. They've learned how to synthesize ideas rather than simply looking back to the text for quotes. Now, they have an important skill that can be used in many future classes.